Hi guys, Rod Vapes here, back at you with a hardware review, and this time it's for the Hexa V2 Pod Mod. This was sent to me by the good folks over at ecigarettedirect.co.uk for the purpose of this review. It also features Phelum inside and hybrid nick, but I'll talk more about that when we go down on the table. So without any further ado, I'll go down on the table and I'll see you there. Right guys, so here we are down on the table with the Hexa V2 Pod Mod. Now let's have a look at the box. On the front we've got Hexa V2, hybrid nick, Phelum inside, nicotine warning. On the side we have complete your vaping experience. On the top, nothing, nice green. On the side, Hexa. On the bottom, nothing. On the back, we have the pod warnings, the ingredients of the pod itself, the nicotine dose per inhalation. We have the volume of the pod, which is 1.7 mil. We have the contents, which is one 350 mAh hex battery, one micro USB cable, one Hexa tobacco pod, and one leaflet, distributed by Hexa, their address, the usual warnings including don't vape in a bin, and the usual nicotine warning. To open it up, you just slide the sleeve off and you're greeted with Hexa and an image of the actual pod. Inside, I'm loving this black and green. Inside you got your instruction manual and warranty card all in one. You have the mod itself, or the battery. You have a branded USB cable, and it is rather a nice one. And it comes shipped with one tobacco pod. And there's no different flavour options, it comes with it. They all do. So, let's put that aside. Let's look at the pod. Now, as it said, it's a 350 mAh battery. There's no buttons or anything to worry about. You've got an air hole on this side and an air hole on this side. So if the draw's not tight enough, you just put your finger over one to make it more restricted. You've got one LED light on the front. This turns green when you vape on it. It flashes green when the battery needs charging. And that's it. USB, micro USB charging port at the bottom. Takes roughly about an hour to charge. Now I don't like tobacco, so I've been using one of these pods from Hexa, and it's made by Dewey's and it's raspberry ice. Now the hybrid nick is basically a mix of freebase nicotine and nic salts all in one. And the Phelum inside is Phelum technology made this coil. Well, it's not technically a coil. It's a porous ceramic cup basically with a heating element underneath of it. And what happens is the porous ceramic soaks up the e-liquid and the heating element vaporizes it. A bit like having a saucepan on top of a stove. And the pod just slips in, it's held in magnetically, it's stood the flick test, it doesn't come out. So, with that said, I'll meet you up top, I'll have a vape on it and give you my thoughts. See you up top. And we're back. So, what do I think of the Hexa? Well, it's good. It beats the Juul, that's for sure. Even get a good cloud off of it. Right, I think I mentioned down on the table that it's got Phelum inside, which is a technology which uses a ceramic pot. Basically the ceramic coat is porous, it soaks up the juice, heating element underneath, heats it up, vaporizes it, and that gets you your vape. The hybrid nick is basically a mix of freebase nicotine and nic salts, and all in all it's really smooth. There's no harshness on the throat, it's quite good. There's about 6 to 12 flavours I think, because I think there's 6, but they do 10ml and 20ml nicotine strengths. So it's about 12 flavours at the moment. I like it. How has it been performing? Well, I've had 2 days out of a pod. Now, normally I alternate between my different mods and the pods when I feel like I need a nicotine hit. But for the purpose of this review, I stuck solely to the Hexa and I chain vaped it. And I got 2 days out of a pod. Now, my pros, it's so simple to use. It is just a case of pull out the pod, stick it in, and away you go. There's no buttons, there's nothing to worry about. Battery lasts a good day and a half before you need to recharge it. Takes about an hour to recharge. Perfect for somebody giving up smoking, moving on to vaping for the first time, or if you're an experienced vapor and you just want something small, handy, that'll last you the day, that you can just take out with you out and about and not having to have bulky items in your pockets. This one's perfect. What do I think on the cons? Well, I've only got one con really, and it's quite a big one really. I got 2 days out of a pod. Now a packet of 2 pods are $6.99. So if you think you got maximum 2 days out of a pod, how many pods you'd go through in a week compared to other pod systems that use refillable pods. That's about the only con I've got really. Apart from that, it's lovely. The flavour's good, which is unusual for a pod, because a lot of pods the flavour's muted, but in this the flavour is actually good. I've used the raspberry ice and I've used the mentho, and the mentho is really nice. I like my ices, I like my menthos, and the mentho and the raspberry ice are about the best two that I've had. The tobacco one, unless you like tobacco, steer clear of it because it's bloody awful. So, I hope you found this review of any use. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Leave me a comment, let me know what I can do to improve even better. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, and if you want to get notifications of when I upload new videos, hit the bell. With that said, happy vaping!